and 40s,
No,
50s,
no,
40s and 50s,
he's
or
like
50s and
60s
60s,
and 70s.
60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Anthony Newley.
He was a lounge singer.
Oh well,
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. We knew a
Hey.
lot. We knew a lot of lounge singers that were really good.
Yeah. Nick Rails.
Well, I was thinking of Timothy James.
Oh, well, yeah, but that was different. It was a lounge, but he was a really, really good singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Nick Rails.
He
Nick
was
Rails is in Saturday Night Live,
Yeah,
right?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Yeah. Star Wars.
Well, let's start out with generals gathered in their masses, just like witches and black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction. Sorcerers of death's construction.
Yeah.
In the fields, the bodies burning. Ooh, as the war machine keeps turning.
Oh, Lord. Now.
No, death
Nope.
and hatred to mankind. There you go. Poisoning now brainwash minds. Oh, Lord, yeah.
What a
killer. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
absolutely freaking
That
killer.
is Sabbath, man.
Yeah, and that's kind of metal
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's just like it's not like if you on Dick Clark, you're gonna get a 40 because it's easy to dance to.
Yeah.
That's not the purpose.
Yeah, I didn't like the words, but it was easy to dance to.
Yeah. It's the purpose. The purpose was to grab you and
grab you by the
shake
short and curlies,
and shake you and go, hey, there's some important stuff that we're going to tell you about, and one of them is politicians are incredibly corrupt, and
Absolutely.
the poor people are nothing but fodder for a war machine.
Yes, sir.
And until Ozzy was trying to make people aware of this. We're talking what, 65, 70?
Yeah, 70.
You know,
yeah, about 70.
And all the songs back then that were trying to tell people that, hey, if
heads up,
if you want peace, you got to listen to metal.
Yeah. That's it. That is the answer.
And in all honesty, I was never a big metalhead.
I wasn't either.
Well, you were in kind of a band that was metal before metal existed.
Yeah, but I didn't really think it was metal.
What did you guys?
Well,
I mean, because
maybe
listening,
a couple. Yeah.
Listening to it from my perspective, I thought, I always thought you guys were playing metal before metal.
Yeah, well, it could be considered that. I just didn't. It wasn't so down to where the singer is screaming his guts out and you can't understand anything he's saying.
Yeah, well,
I
think there's, and we're going to show our ignorance here. At least I am. I think there are like a lot of different branches of the metal tree.
Yeah, there are.
Thrash metal and speed metal and doom metal
but my original idea of what heavy metal was Steppenwolf. Born to be Wild. Yeah, no, that stuff was like, oh yeah, that's when I was started to really listen to it.
And the beats per minute started increasing.
Yeah.
You get instead of
Yeah. Well, a lot of the early really heavy stuff was slower.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, maybe it was later that it slowed down a little bit. Because there was Blue Cheer. Yeah.
There was Hendrix.
Well, yeah.
I mean, before everyone.
Yeah.
And nobody knew what to call that.
No,
all
nobody ever heard anything
Yeah,
like
right.
that before.
They just said, they called it Hendrix.
yeah, it's just Jimmy,
It's
man.
just Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of a kind.
So, hello everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to
Boy.
Indiana Rocks. I was doing Walk This
Okay.
Way.
Oh,
No, I was
Walk
doing,
This
yeah,
Way? Oh.
yeah, because we're going to
Yeah,
be talking about
Aerosmith.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're going to be talking about Black Sabbath. Is Black Sabbath done? Was this the last time we will see Black Sabbath? And I asked that because we saw Black Sabbath a lot without Ozzy.
Yeah.
You know,
But it wasn't the same. You got to have Ozzy.
so this is probably the end.
Well, the way things go anymore, you never know.
And I don't think this is the last we'll hear from Ozzy.
No, we'll hear from
I
Ozzy.
think it's the last time we will ever see
him play live on stage.
him perform live on stage.
Yeah.
And for those that, if you did not see it, there are people out there going, "Oh, it's all it was AI, it was all backtracked." And it wasn't.
It wasn't. No,
Ozzy was singing.
He laid it out there.
He did. He left it all out there. And while we're talking, so did Sammy Hagar.
Yeah.
77 years old, man.
Still
Sammy's
sings like he's 14.
Singing rock. He looks like he's 44 instead of 77.
Yeah,
and
he's a badass.
Out there singing Rock Candy. One of my favorites from Montrose.
So cool.
Bad Motor Scooter, another
Bad
of my
Motor
favorite.
Scooter,
So I guess
another one of my favorites. So
do you
heavy metal.
Do you consider that metal, Montrose, or you consider it hard rock?
Yeah, hard rock. I consider that just rock and roll, man. That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
that just come out. Hell, we used to play it when we played at the Triangle.
And he was what, 16 when he?
I don't know how old he was. All I know was he came out wailing, and he's still wailing.
Yeah,
I love that guy.
Absolutely. So, again, hello everybody. What we're talking about Saturday was Ozzy Osbourne's farewell. And let me see it. Let me pull something up here so give you an idea. Okay. There we go. And the final show, it was in Birmingham, England. And it featured, Wolfgang Van Halen did not show.
He didn't?
No.
Oh,
his band, Mammoth, is the name of his band. And they're going to be opening up for Creed on a tour.
Creed should be opening up for them. Gee whiz, man.
Well,
okay. That's cool.
And so Tom Morello, lead guitar player from Rage Against the Machine.
Yep. And many others.
Yeah.
He's been all over the video.
He was actually the musical director for the entire thing.
Yeah.
And, that gives you an idea of his genius.
Yeah.
Sleep Token didn't show. Slash was there, but Guns N' Roses was there. And they're not listed up here. So there was some kind of mess up with somebody, and it looks like it might have been Wolfgang Van Halen.
Yeah.
That Sharon kicked them off because they wanted to profit off of it is the what's going around. And
Wolfie, you don't need it.
And
come on, man.
Fred Durst was not there live. He did a recorded thing. The dude from Disturbed was there and got booed. Only guy in the whole show.
I bet it disturbed him. Sorry, dude.
But the big performers were there. Mastodon. I don't know anything about Mastodon.
Me either.
They were good, I guess. Okay, I mean, it wasn't
good
like
at what they do.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
like they were all playing different chords or
Oh yeah.
progressions or anything.
If
You know,
if they made a mistake, they all made it together.
you're right. And like I said, Anthrax, Lamb of God, Allison. I saw all these bands, but I'm not a big fan of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and plus, I'm not a a super fan of Black Sabbath, so I didn't know all the album cuts that that you're not familiar with. And sometimes I'd hear a song and I thought, well, okay, and find out they're doing a cover of a Black Sabbath song.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that, and just keeping it real.
Yeah, my brother turned me on to them, like
To Sabbath.
in 1970. Right when the first album came out. And I was still waking up and watching Saturday morning cartoons. And here my brother comes in, and I was sitting there, but the cartoons were kind of over in the middle where I didn't really care what was going on. And I was listening to the Kinks.
You really got me.
Yeah,
you really got me.
A sophisticated man of downtown. Yeah, it was like the best of the Kinks or something.
Yeah. He comes in and he goes, "This is Black Sabbath." The title of Black Sabbath, right? The first album.
Yeah. No, it was just Black Sabbath. Yeah, and it had the lady standing out in the church.
Right. That's the first.
Yeah, and it starts out with the storm and the bell tolling
and then the first track is Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Da,
da, da. Yeah.
I thought that you were doing Iron Man there for a minute.
Yeah.
The first one I thought was or one of the first things I thought was, well, they'll open the show, they'll do Black Sabbath as the first song of the set, of the Black Sabbath set.
Yeah.
And then they didn't, and I thought, okay, they're going to do Black Sabbath as the encore.
Yeah.
And bring everything full circle, all the way back to the very first song on the very first album.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Well, it would have been beautiful. But it's still good, and it was.
It was
great.
Were they?
And it's too bad if it is really Ozzy's last performance. He deserves more for his career.
I agree with that. It's, and at the same time, so many times the tributes come, after.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to have a tribute concert for Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Well, if we knew Tom Petty was going to be dead, we'd do a tribute to him hopefully before he died.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be gruesome or gory or anything, but Ozzy's got some stuff going on. Plus, he's almost 80 years old.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a, would you want to have one last show? And Ozzy obviously did.
Yeah.
And
he put it out there.
And
every ounce of everything he is, he put out there.
He did.
Yeah.
But would you want? I mean, I think anybody would.
Yeah.
If they knew, if they knew and they
last time,
and they knew they could.
Yeah.
Craig Bailey.
Oh, yep. What a guy. Great guy. I love him.
And he got to do his last show.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. And he got to take care of everything he had on his list. before it happened. So God bless him.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think Ozzy doing this is, I think,
Yeah.
is the right thing for, and I don't know personally people in the metal business. I know people that know people in the metal business.
Yeah.
And all I ever heard was Ozzy is really a good dude. He plays the part of the Prince of Darkness.
Yes, the Prince of Darkness.
But he's not. That's not really. It's a character. It's a character he plays, and he's really a good dude. Sharon's a bitch.
Yeah.
But he's. That's what I always heard.
I don't know. I don't know, but man, it catapulted him into.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The going the dark angle catapulted him. Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
bunches of them.
Yeah.
But that's the way rock and roll is, isn't it? I love it. Always have, and I always will. Don't sell out. Come on.
Don't sell out.
Yeah. Don't sell out. Make people still want to hear this stuff, but not on TV, on commercials.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you don't want to hear the Queen songs with Dyson vacuum cleaners.
Right.
Vinyl Fool, thank you for being here, man. Pat Tolliver, thank you for being here.
Yeah, cool.
And Wolfgang. Wolfgang was metal.
Really?
He knows Jay Wolfgang.
Who knows Jay?
He does. Vinyl Feed knows. Maybe it is Jay.
Who is Vinyl Fool? Let me know.
Yeah. Let us know.
I've known Jay for 50 years.
Yeah.
Or more.
More.
I played with him and made a record with him and
ran a bar with him.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a bar, it was a
nightclub.
21.
Yeah, well.
Under 21 nightclub.
Yeah,
boy, there was some good talent went through that place.
JQ Hogs.
Yep, JQ Hogs on East Washington Street.
We'll have to do an episode on that.
It was Fitch Furniture, and it was right beside Mickler's Steakhouse on 40. And that Mickler's was like, they were known for having great steaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we turned that, well, Jay leased it. It was Fitch Furniture. And then we took it, well, Jay took it, put coolers and stuff in from bars that was shut down the street. And he bought the stuff off of them and put it in there and thought, an under 21 club would be really neat. People that just want to come in and hear music and have a good time without, all the alcohol and everything else. And, they were all under 21 anyway. But, it was a great place. Hell, we had Exile there. Rastus. Guys, Pure Funk was there a bunch of times. I don't remember if Roadmaster was actually there, but
Chosen Few.
No, the Chosen Few never played there. Yeah,
they had better.
Although we would have loved to have them. But we had Exile before they became known for their
love songs. Soft.
I Want to Kiss You All Over,
right.
And all.
Yeah,
they were a rock band, and they were really rocking, man. They were cool.
It's Chicago was the same way.
Yeah,
Chicago was.
They started out as a metal, freeform guitar.
Yeah,
and guy, that's all it was for like 5 minutes.
And
cool, man. Back then, I thought, whoa.
Wolfgang also had Dr. Fong's Speaker Works.
Yes.
Created a line of speakers and amplifiers and.
had a music store in Greenfield.
Yeah.
And he is, I think, currently in around Nashville, Tennessee. He purchased Reba McEntire's horse ranch and turned it into a winery and a music venue.
Nice.
Yeah. It's really cool, man.
He was always, he was always business
he
oriented.
was the business guy.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing, and it's really cool that he has done this.
And okay, now we got off track a little bit there, but justifiably so. It's still tying into metal. I thought personally Metallica had the best set of the entire show.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Guns N' Roses, the band was good.
Yeah.
The band was really good. And our tie to this whole thing is, of course, Axl Rose, real name Bill Bailey. Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? Axl needs to take some time away and do whatever Steven Tyler did with his vocal cords.
Work on that.
Steven Tyler came back after having some time off, and Aerosmith apparently not going to tour anymore live. And Steven Tyler came out and was excellent. He was.
He was always a super showman. A great front man.
Gojira, the French band, the French metal band that they played at the Olympics. The first.
Oh yeah, up in all the different windows.
Yeah. They played, and I thought they were hot.
They probably were, I'm sure.
Hailstorm is Lizzie Hale, and she was the only female. I think she's the only female on the entire thing. She's the only female front person, I'm sure.
She wasn't the granddaughter of Alan Hale, was she?
I don't know. Played Skipper on Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
She didn't look anything like Alan Hale.
Yeah, she looked like Ginger Grant.
Looked more like Ginger. Yes.
But she can wail.
She can wail.
Yeah.
And then Ozzy comes out with Zakk Wylde and the guys that, some of the guys, because Ozzy had a lot of players with him over the years too. Not everybody that had been part of Black Sabbath or part of Ozzy's band, not everybody was invited. Vinny Appice was not
such
invited.
A good drummer too.
Which I mean, invite him and let him play with one of the super groups. Because Bill Ward's going to be playing with Sabbath.
Yeah, he could do anything he wanted. It's a kind of a diss.
Yeah. But we're really nitpicky.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
To pull off what they pulled off, there's going to be some stuff slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
And
it was pretty quick putting it on, I think, too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
He didn't plan this for 6 months or anything.
I want to go to this.
Oh, that's cool.
This is the let me make sure we're back over here. Yeah, that's the kind of the official photo. And a lot, I mean, of the bigger stars, I guess you'd say.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been a Smashing Pumpkin fan. Billy Corgan has always been,
but a lot of people loved him.
Yeah. That's again. There's bands and representatives of bands that I'm not necessarily a giant fan of, but I'm not going to say they
I heard
suck
their hits
just because
on the
I don't.
radio. You know,
Yeah.
that's all I heard.
Right. But that's a really cool picture with Ozzy there in the middle.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome.
And
Nuno in there?
No, Nuno's not in there.
Oh, geez, come on.
Yeah.
He played on every damn song.
It's
Steven Tyler.
Yeah, Steven Tyler sitting by Ozzy, and then Tony Iommi back up here on above,
the dude from Metallica.
Jed Clampett.
Hatfield.
What's his first name? I used to kid a Metallica fan and said, their lead singer was Jed Clampett.
It might be James or something.
Yeah, James Hetfield.
Yeah.
Yes. And then their bass players over here. And then there's Giza
Butler.
Giza Butler.
He's the one that went topless.
No, that's Bill Ward.
Bill Ward.
Yeah,
Bill Ward.
We'll
He's not in here.
Yeah, he is. He's down here at the bottom. He's down here with Lars. And Billy Corrigan. That's okay. The actual lead guitarist from Metallica, and then Sammy, of course.
Oh yeah.
Here's Bill down here, and then Zakk Wylde. Yeah. And I'm not sure who these people are. I should know, I guess, maybe, but hey. And they don't know who I am either.
Yeah, damn. Hey, you should know.
So
we're legends in our own mind.
We're even on that spot. Something I want to share, and hopefully, guys, we've been going almost a half an hour.
Really? Yeah.
All right. Well, we're not. We got 10 things. The 10 unforgettable moments. You haven't seen this. And this is backstage. The first unforgettable moment is backstage where they were getting the picture that we just saw. So we'll be quiet and listen to this. Aquaman goes out and starts a mosh pit. He's a bad motherfucker. Okay, here's the drum off. Travis Barker. Yep. Had 10 years of innocence.
No, but this is an unforgettable moment because they took on the next one from his voice. That's I've been talking about. Man, seen that shit does no more tears.
Okay. You know, I auditioned for something. Okay.
Yeah.
And I was talking to guys about getting prepared, and I wanted to get a wah wah pedal. And the guitar player said, you know, this guitar player had some pedals for sale. And he said, well, why do you want a wah wah? You know, I've got a wah wah. I'm not going to sell it, but why do you want a wah wah? Here's your answer.
Whack. That's good. No one. No. I really honestly why fish and fucking
So that was their top 10 moments of the top 10 moments of the show. So, yeah.
Groovus.
Yeah. Just, I thought, just give a little glimpse of things. And the drum, I'd forgotten about the drum solo, the drum off.
Oh, the drum off. Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
The dude from Tool.
Yeah,
all three of them.
awesome.
All three of them are monsters.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, but the guy from Tool.
The guy from Tool.
Yeah.
You know.
He's a great one. No doubt about it.
Whatever you guys are listening to, we can't hear it. Don't hear anything. Crap.
Oh fuck.
Well, it might be. It might have been copywritten, and we couldn't. They couldn't hear it because, you know, they wouldn't let us hear it. Daggone it! How long ago was that? 30. So the last 5 minutes. So they didn't hear any of the stuff we were listening to, unfortunately.
Fuck.
Crap.
I mean,
crap.
Yeah. Intercourse.
Sorry about that. I don't know. We were hearing it fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
And They're coming to take me away.
Ha ha, hee hee, ho.
To the funny farm where life
Life
is
is
beautiful
all the time, and I will be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white suits because they're coming to take me away. Oh, sorry.
We're going to start a metal band called Geezers and Butlers.
Yeah.
After Geezer Butler.
Yeah. We're all geezers.
And be sponsored by Rascal Scooters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I again apologies for that stuff not coming through. And but at the same time I'm not surprised because they really put copyright. They hit copyrights hard on this one. Mercury Records was pulling everything down. They were taking channels down, not just putting copyrights up on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before we get out of here, it sounds like somebody's out in my driveway. That's what happens when you're alive. Before we get out of here, we'll talk about what's coming up here and what we just did. We did a surprise, unplanned. Neither one of us had anything going on, so we went and now let me rephrase that. Neither one of us had anything that we had to do. So we went and did something we wanted to do, and we went and saw Alan Kay Alan Kay and Tricycle.
Yeah.
And what a fun show.
Yeah, it was fun. It was great. Yeah,
highly recommend it.
Yeah.
That's on our recommend list now with the Toasters and the Wombleys.
Yep.
And we haven't seen everybody yet. There's a band in Indianapolis called My Yellow Rickshaw.
Yeah.
You know about them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of them.
You've heard of them? Mm-hmm. I had not heard of them. My sister came over today and took me to brunch and asked me if I knew of them, and I did not. However, our waitress did. They're going to be playing at a private thing out on a lake, and people are going to be pulling their pontoon boats up and checking them out. They're like bluegrass, pop, rock, and country.
Yeah.
Like
My Yellow Rickshaw.
My Yellow Rickshaw. So shout out to
they've been around.
So shout out to My Yellow Rickshaw.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them yet. So I can't recommend them. But they come recommended.
Mm-hmm.
And you played this past
weekend, Saturday.
You played at a private gig, one of these exclusive gigs where they get they get enough money where they don't have to really play the rest of the year because of these big paying gigs they get. You had something happen.
That was a good one, but yeah. We had we were right in the middle of a medley. I think it was Mellencamp. We was right in the middle of whatever. But I looked up and there's a bunch of girls standing right in front, and they were saying, "Stop, stop, stop." So I stopped, and everybody kind of stopped here and there behind me. But I said, "Damn, something's going on." They told us to stop, and they said that a person had a heart attack inside the garage.
Wait a minute, your music was so good you gave somebody a heart attack?
yeah, that's it.
No,
this is just, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And but it was just these little private things that are supposed to be fun, but there's always something that happens. But
sometimes a fight will break out.
Yeah. A lot of drinking, a lot of younger people, I'm not saying they were underage, but they just couldn't handle her.
So they were underage.
Maybe.
But you ain't saying it.
Yeah. I'm not underage.
Is that the first time you've ever had somebody had a heart attack at one of your gigs?
No, it was the second time. Actually, our old keyboard player, rest in peace, Craig Bailey.
Mentioned him earlier.
Yes. And he had every Labor Day weekend, he would have a show called the Black Locust Music and Arts Fair. And, the name of the place was perfect because it was all black locust trees. And if you know what they are, they have the big thorns on them about this long. And so, but anyway, we did that, and they used the money for cancer research and stuff like that. And yeah, it was fun. We used to do that every year on Labor Day.
And some dude had a heart attack.
Yeah, the last one we did, some guy went down out by the campfire. They had a big fire out there. I don't know what happened, but they had to come out with paramedics, and they took him in, and and you just unfortunate. And they're both young guys.
And still, go check these guys out. Chances are you won't have a heart attack.
My God, I hope not.
If you see him play, are you doing anything in public?
Somebody named Fulkerson, I guess.
No. So no. The answer is no.
Yeah. On the 19th. Something like that.
And the 19th is.
But we are playing at the New Palestine Live on the Depot thing that they have there.
Really?
On July 26th.
I may see if one of the guys from Indiana Rocks will come down and live stream that.
Yeah. Have that happen.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make that happen.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of festivals, and we were asked to make sure everybody was aware of this coming up. It is the Cornstalk Festival's coming up. Now, normally this was a one-day event. This year, for the first time, it's going to be a 2-day event, Saturday and Sunday event. And get over here where, okay, the headliner is Blind Melon, and they were a 90s band.
Yeah, they were good. I liked them.
They're good. On the 11th, it's Clayton Anderson.
Hey, we played with him at the Summerfest a couple of years ago.
In New Pal?
Yeah.
Is he good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a country guy, man. He's really, really good.
Okay. 6 Foot Blonde.
I never heard of him.
Yeah. Naptown Hepcats. I'm guessing an indie.
Yeah.
Stray Cat kind of.
Yeah, maybe.
Nothing against that. That's kind of what we were with Kenny Hill.
Yeah.
Tres Amigos. Indianapolis band also, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know, maybe not. Johnny James. I don't think that's the John James.
Oh, here you go. Now I recognize in the second stage.
The Indigo.
Them and Benito.
Benito, of course. Yeah.
Yep.
He's going to come on the show.
Yep.
And then on the 12th, the headliner's Blind Melon with
Henry Lee,
Stepwater Band, Hank Ruff, Don Stuck Band, and I think
the radio contest winner.
Yeah, they got 2 radio contest winners playing, opening the days up. So good for them. I'm not sure what radio or contest it was, but
this is the second stage. Wallow Hollow.
Yeah. Radio Flower.
Dude.
Church
He's
of
playing. Damn, I didn't know that. You
Church-
better share it. No, dude.
Dude.
My dog.
Oh, your dog Dude's playing?
Yeah. You know, hell, I want half of that, dude.
Have that check. The Church of Frank and the Tommy Baldwin Trio.
Oh, they're good.
Tommy Baldwin.
Yeah.
So that is the 11th and 12th, and it is in Bean Blossom, Indiana, at the Bill Monroe Campground and Music venue.
Yeah,
So
it's a great place.
yeah, where the
big party,
where the Bluegrass Festival, the Bill Monroe Bluegrass Festival always was. And, it'll be a great party on the 11th and 12th.
It'll be awesome.
And you can get tickets. Go do317.com events, and that will eventually get you there, and you can click and buy tickets if you're interested in the first annual 2-day Cornstalk Festival. They've had the Cornstalk Festival before, as we said, but it was just 1-day events. So
July 11th and 12th.
yeah, we were asked to come down and live stream it, and we got
other stuff.
gigs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah. Here in Greenfield this weekend is going to be Elton Jeff and the Honky Cats, the Elton John Experience. Personal opinion, absolutely horrible name.
Yeah.
But really good entertainers as far as doing tribute to Elton John. They're really good at the tribute to Elton John.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah, I'd never heard of him.
But a horrible name.
Yeah, that's a bad name.
Bad name. Elton Jeff and the Honky Cats. Oh, well, hey.
Elton Jefferson.
Yeah. So I think we've covered everything that's coming up. Head East is going to be here in Greenfield with Why on Earth opening up.
Why on Earth?
Why on Earth?
Who's left?
Not sure, because Tom is with
with Stella
Luna and the Satellites.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know who all was left with them.
Maybe Tom's going to play with with Why on Earth for one.
Yeah.
One show only.
Yeah. That would be cool.
Okay, we're going to end with this. Bring things full circle. Bring it back to Ozzy and the Black Sabbath show. Bill Ward, 2 songs in, took his shirt off.
Oh.
Back behind the drums.
Okay.
And like it was 1970,
yeah.
And
you're not ripped like you were in
No,
1970.
I was saying someone put a fan on that man and put his shirt back on him, just because the optics matter.
Give him a wife beater or something
But
that
because
70-some-year-old guy in no shirt.
Yeah, but he didn't care.
Yeah,
he didn't care what anybody thought.
And none of them ever do, really.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about getting on stage and playing metal.
Yeah,
is that
you can do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want.
Yep.
We thank you all for watching. We greatly appreciate you. Subscribe, like, share, help grow the channel. We don't make any money doing this. We do this to document what's going on in the music world and
have fun.
Yeah. And hopefully, if everything comes together, we got a couple of great episodes that are going to be coming up in the future. Well, more than a couple, because I wasn't counting Smash.
Yeah.
Asher Ben Rubin. Asher Ben Ruby, not Rubin. Adam Smasher.
Yeah.
The Smash. He's going to come on first Monday in August that we've got it set up for. At the moment, we got some other things scheduled, and including some stuff that you'd be like, wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. The people that are just around that nobody knows.
I can't wait to talk to Benito after,
Yeah.
after he gets where he's got a couple of days, because he was
He
going to come
works all
on.
the time,
Yeah, he was going to come
man.
on, and he said, "Oh, I'm going out on the road. You just found out I'm going on the road with Tommy Two Tone.
Mhm.
8675309." Yeah. So he's been out playing with Tommy Two. So he's going to have, Eddie Money stories. He was Eddie Money's guitarist. So we're looking forward to Benito coming on.
Benito's a great guy.
And we've been blessed to have some people start watching this, and we thank you all. And normally we don't have a lot of people watching live. It's those watching on replay at watching, what's it called when you can just click and watch it on demand. Watching on demand. Yeah. So thank you. We greatly appreciate you. Mel Cup, I'm Barry Welsh. This has been Indiana Rocks. We love you all. It's a dark world.
Be a light.
See you next time.